I've probably read over 5,000 messages or comments or something telling me to kill myself. I gotta be as vague as possible because they're gonna murder me. Time back to them, but.
So who wants to kill MrBeast? After a careful investigation, 4 suspects emerge, each with a powerful motive for wanting MrBeast's end. Stay tuned until the end to find out who's most likely to want MrBeast dead. First suspect, chocolate giants. Let's see the first suspect. This group appears to be the most dangerous, as there are billions of dollars at stake. In 2022, MrBeast launched Feastables, his own chocolate brand.
This is my old Feastables chocolate bar, and as you know, it tastes better than a Hershey's bar.
What at first glance seemed like a simple business venture quickly turned into a tidal wave that shook the chocolate industry. Feastables isn't just a product on a shelf, it's a declaration of war, a direct provocation to the food giants who have controlled this market for decades, raking in billions by playing by their own rules. And they don't like that, because Feastables isn't just a successful brand with revenue of $250 million by 2024, according to Bloomberg. It embodies a radical change. Consumers, increasingly conscious of what they buy, are gradually abandoning large traditional companies in favor of more ethical and transparent products. A simple trend? No, an existential threat to these multinationals. But what's most disturbing is that MrBeast refuses to play by the book. Unlike conventional producers, he commits to using ethically sourced cocoa, free from child exploitation. And that's a stab in the heart of the system. Because in West Africa, where 70% of the world's cocoa is produced, a large proportion of the workforce is made up of children. For years, multinationals have been hiding behind excuses, vague promises, and dubious labels. But Feastables is exposing the truth and offering a concrete alternative.
Right now, 70% of the world's cocoa comes from West Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ghana, and majority of the people who work on those farms are actually kids or child labor.
And I was like, that can't be accurate. And then I started digging deeper and deeper, and I was like, holy shit. And so I started talking to all the big chocolate companies, and I was like, so what do you guys do about this whole child labor thing? And they're constantly just telling me, like, it just is what it is. That's how chocolate always has been. And I was like, whoa, you guys make like $1 billion a year in profit. You don't see an issue with that being on the back of little kids?
So what happens when an outsider disrupts a lockdown market, challenges an exploitative business model, and deprives billionaires of their comfortable profits? History has proven that those who disrupt too much often end up paying a high price.
I have this crazy clip on, I have a documentary guy, I think you saw him, Jeff, who follows me around. Crazy clip where I'm meeting with like a big, I gotta be as vague as possible because they're gonna murder me if we got time back to them, but like a big supplier, we'll just leave it vague like that. And I asked them, I was like, so do you have any way I can pay extra to not use child labor or anything like that, or any options? And they were just like, no. And my literal documentary guy is just like filming, and I'm in like this big boardroom, and I look at the camera, I'm like, holy shit, they just said that on camera.
By exposing these practices and proposing an ethical alternative, MrBeast could attract the hostility of these producers who see him as a threat to their economic model.
How many kids do you think are in child labor in West Africa, just on cocoa farms? You might have saw it in that
5,000?
No, it's 1.5 million.
You're joking?
Yeah, it's over 1 million. It's crazy. So what we need to do is we need to, in my head, get to $1 billion a year in revenue as fast as possible while being ethically sourced and being profitable, because then I can point and go, look, we achieve scale ethically and we're making money. It's not that you can't do it, you just don't want to.
All our Feastable farmers, we use fair trade, and on top of that, we pay our farmers a living wage, and we do a lot of stuff like that. We're doing a lot of projects in West Africa and the communities. We're sourcing our beans to help them, and like we're right now building schools over there, and there's CLMRS, which is like child labor remediation, which checks in on the farms, make sure there's not child labor, that kind of stuff. I'm very aware, there's a lot of messed up stuff in the cocoa sector.
There's some way where I could play my cards over the next 10 years where we get over 1 million kids out of child labor on cocoa farms, and so I just gotta connect the dots and figure out the correct way to do it.
Second suspect, advocates of depopulation in Africa. Some rumors say there are dark forces lurking in the shadows, ready to do anything to slow down population growth in Africa. Why? Because a burgeoning population means a rise in power, economic independence, and an increasingly powerful voice on the world stage. And some people don't want that. Meanwhile, MrBeast is doing the opposite.
This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water! Oh, crap! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. One down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're gonna love this video. Combined, these 100 wells are gonna give around 500,000 people fresh water to drink.
He's building wells, providing millions of people with access to clean water, saving lives, and, by extension, contributing to the growth of this population that some would like to see shrink. So ask yourself this: can a man who indirectly challenges the agenda of those who want to control the continent's demographics remain untouchable? Behind his image as a kind-hearted do-gooder, is MrBeast making powerful enemies without even knowing it? Could those who dream of a world where certain populations remain under control see him as a threat to be eliminated? Third suspect, T-Series. For years, a silent but fierce war has been raging on YouTube. On one side, MrBeast, the American YouTuber who built his empire by captivating millions of viewers with ever crazier challenges. On the other, T-Series, the Indian music industry behemoth, backed by an entire nation. And MrBeast was willing to do anything to win.
I just want to be the most subscribed to channel, and
In June 2024, after years of battling, it finally overtakes T-Series and becomes the most watched channel on the planet. A historic victory, but against all odds, in December 2024, something strange happens. MrBeast and the CEO of T-Series officially announced the end of their competition by subscribing to each other's channels. A symbolic gesture, a truce that seems to mark the end of an era. But is this really a sincere reconciliation, or just a facade? Because when a rivalry reaches such heights, it's hard to imagine it ending without rancor or ulterior motives. Has T-Series truly accepted defeat, or does this peace hide a more devious strategy? After all, wars aren't always won on the battlefield. Sometimes they continue in the shadows. Fifth suspect, Ava Kris Tyson. MrBeast no longer works with Ava Kris Tyson. Are LGBT+ people angry with him? In July 2024, a real earthquake shook the YouTube universe. Ava Kris Tyson, MrBeast's iconic collaborator since 2012, announced her dramatic departure from the channel. The reason? Explosive allegations of misconduct against a 13-year-old minor when she was 20. Faced with the scale of the scandal, MrBeast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, expressed his disgust and immediately launched an independent investigation to shed light on the allegations. The results were clear. No evidence of misconduct was found. However, the investigation revealed a climate of locker room behavior within the team, leading to several dismissals. Despite these findings, the damage is done. Ava, who courageously shared her transition in 2023, finds herself at the center of a media storm. Her departure, though presented as mutual, leaves doubts hanging. The LGBTQ+ community is wondering, is this a disguised ostracism? A feeling of betrayal and marginalization is setting in, fueling growing resentment toward MrBeast and his team. This case raises burning questions about crisis management, loyalty, and true inclusivity in the cutthroat world of content creators. The spotlight is on MrBeast, philanthropic hero or master showman. These conflicts raise the question, how far would some be willing to go to protect their interests in the face of MrBeast's growing influence?